And I think we're live. Good morning, everybody. How are we? Good to be back. Trying something a bit different today, rather than just doing like a full flight from A to B and then B back to A maybe. Figured we'd spend a bit of time today looking at FSiPanel, digging into it a little bit, doing it all live. I mean, I'm kind of still exploring it, and I did think to myself last night maybe I should do a video exploring it some more, and then I thought, why don't I just explore it with you, and we'll just hang out and see what's what. So I started a poll for where you guys can decide where we land. Basically, it's up to you. I've started us off, seeing as we don't have any votes at the time of streaming. I've started us off in Wellington, New Zealand. Now, full disclosure, I have rolled back the time because it's pitch black at the moment. I figured it'd be a bit better of an experience for you all to have a little bit of daylight, but as you can see here, the weather is pretty shocking out there, so that ought to be good fun. And Wellington is has long been an enemy of mine in the sim. I find it a very, very tricky airport to land at. It's known for its wind, so that ought to be good fun. Now, looking at the way that water is going, I'm just wondering if we're facing the right direction. Anyway, let's have a go, shall we? Let's give it a go. Just adjust my mic here a moment. Right. So all I've done is I've spawned us on the runway, and I've used the built-in PMDG function. So I've gone PMDG setup, load panel state, I've gone clicked runway, then I've clicked execute, and that basically puts the aircraft in a runway state, like you'd be ready to take off. Then we will get FSiPanel to help us out and take it from there. Morning, Simon. Oh, Wasp says, I did vote London Gatwick, but it did not take my vote. That's weird. But Wellington's fine to start. Yeah, cool, that's fine. Yeah, that's a bit strange, isn't it? I've got 0 votes on basically everything in my... from what I can see anyway. How strange. Anyway, so let's... let me show you FSiPanel to start with, because... here it is. This is it. So, it's quite nice in that, because we've spawned in the sim at Wellington on runway 34, it's already pre-filled that for us. So really all that's left for us to do is decide what kind of approach we want to fly. Do we want to fly downwind, vectored in, left-hand base, right-hand base, long final, short final? I find short final is quite good. It also gives you the configuration for the flaps. And that's kind of it. It's really nice and simple. Then when we're ready, we click Move AC, Move Aircraft. Your aircraft actual weight is above maximum landing weight. Select what you want to do. Overweight, new load, or set maximum landing weight. You voted JFK as well, Simon? Oh, okay. What we'll do, we will restart the poll. I think that's what we'll do. Right. Set maximum landing weight. Alright, here's the instruction panel that pops up. Then we just let it do its thing for a minute. So right now, FSiPanel is configuring the aircraft for us, so we don't have to. Okay, so I have redone the poll. Hopefully that will work this time. Weirdly, when I ended the poll, I could see all the results. Okay, this is a good point to actually point out what's going on. So FSiPanel has successfully configured the aircraft, and basically it's up to us now when we want to take over. So let's get the yoke cam on. See if I can get my throttles in the right place. I really like this feature actually of the PMDG that they've added. I don't think this is a real aircraft feature, but you see on the engine display as I move my throttles, you see that little blue line that kind of runs around? That kind of helps you get your throttles in the right place before you disable auto throttle. Because I've had it before where, say, the engines are at 70% N1 and my throttles are all the way back at, like, I don't know, 40. Then I disable auto throttle and then the plane tries to nosedive out of the sky, so that's good. Alright, good, I can see the poles working again. Okay, let's give it a whirl, shall we? So, if I hold the brakes on my rudder pedals for 3 seconds, 1, 2, and 3. Safe landing, I have control. Well, that's kind of debatable, I guess. Alright, so we have a... We have a tailwind. We're getting blown all over here, aren't we? Because I cannot see a damn thing. Ho 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 ho. Look at that. Right, this is just a practice run to be absolutely clear, okay? Whoa. How did we get blown all the way over there?
Sync rate.
Too high.
Sync rate.
30, 20, 10.
Alright, we need to do that again from the other direction. And into the sea we go. Whee! Oh, it's all good fun. Right. Let's try that again, shall we? We're going to do the other way this time. Runway 16. Short final. Move aircraft.
80 knots.
Oh, you got your PPL at Wellington. Wow, fair play. Let's have some weather where we can actually see, shall we? Oh, that's much nicer. What do we have? Scattered clouds?
Positive rate of climb.
A few clouds. A few clouds, that looks nice. Oh, here we go. Look, we are ready. Okay, aircraft is ready. I'm slightly concerned that the airspeed is dropping like it is. Okay, aircraft ready. Hold the brakes. Just realised I had auto throttle on. That won't be helping. I have no idea what's going on with that water, but we'll
400.
let it off, shall we? Reversers. This is a very short runway, isn't it? That is a very short runway. I feel like maybe we should do auto brakes 3. Right, just want to double check that we don't have any failures. Yes, active. I bet they're tyres ones. What does this say? ASIS quantity refill required. No idea what that is. Possibly from our first landing. They land A350s on this, wow. So they missed. So in the 737, do we think maybe the auto brake 2 is not quite enough? Let's give it another go, shall we? Or would flaps 40 be more appropriate, do you think, here? Yeah, that is a very, very short runway, isn't it? Alright, aircraft is ready. We'll try auto brake 3 this time. And then the next time, we'll give it another go. Yeah, you can't really be affording to have a late landing here, can you? Absolutely not. Oh, too fast. I'm way too fast. Yikes.
500.
Whoa, wobbling around here.
200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Down you go. Let's see if it stops us any better with auto brakes 3. Well, that is definitely using all of the runway, isn't it? Does FSiPanel work with the Fenix? Yes, it does, and we'll do that a little bit later because we do have the Fenix, so we'll have a little play later. Morning, Sofa Pilot. Sorry, I missed your message there. Was it say ready for the storm later? Yeah. Yeah, was it Storm? What's it called? I've forgotten it. Agnes? They've gone back to A, haven't they? They've like reset because apparently the storm calendar begins in September or something. So now they've gone back to A, and it'll go A, B, C, D, I guess until next time. Okay, so let's try it again, but this time we will do flaps 40. See if that makes a difference. Usually vacate to A3. Landing on 3-4. What am I on at the moment? 1-6, aren't I? Yeah. I must admit, when I'm in the A320neo in here, it definitely feels like you can basically land and almost stop immediately, whereas the 737, it's like it takes a lot longer for the reversers to do their thing. And there's always that fear that if I put the manual brakes on too early, I'll just start popping tyres. Alright, let's do auto brake max this time. Alright, here we go. 3 seconds on the brakes. Aircraft is ready. Safe landing, you have control. It's funny, I never really land with flaps 40 in the 737, but I guess this is a good candidate for it. Oh, a bit on the high side and a bit on the far side here. Oh, that's better. Yeah, like the auto brakes max. Big fan of auto brakes max. Good morning, Nick. How are you? Yeah, that made a massive difference, all told. Now, actually, we can do some landing reports. I forgot about that. Let's just get off here a minute. Parking brakes on. Alright, so apparently I was good on the touchdown zone. Touchdown rate of descent, 274, which is alright. My bank at touchdown apparently is perfect. Deviation from centerline, training required, oh dear. Right, why is that window so outrageously big? Can we please make it smaller? It would seem that we can't. There we go, just make it full screen. Yeah, I mean, that was okay. I mean, our red line was us. So, That's kind of our deviation from the glide slope, which is green line. So we sort of we were a bit high most of the way, then we sort of touched down, went a bit high again, but then the last little bit we were okay. Do I like the new iPhone? Nick, I love the new iPhone. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, really, really glad I got it. It's just the regular 15, not the Pro, albeit it is the Plus version, so it's like the big one. Yeah. Yeah, brilliant phone. I bet Dale would love it. Guaranteed. Alright, I think it's time we moved to our next airport. And looking at the poll, Gatwick is the clear winner. Gatwick is the clear winner. How you doing, Dale? Anyway, you okay? So let's go main menu. We'll get you eventually, Dale. Just you wait. Alright, now full disclosure on Wellington there. We did adjust the weather and the date because, well, frankly, we didn't want to land in the dark, is the honest answer. What is the wind doing at Gatwick this morning? Alright, it looks like it's coming sort of at the across the runway here. So probably 08 right will be the way to do it. So we'll just spawn on the runway. I love how happy that plane looks. Like, yay, I'm flying. It's always gusty at Wellington, isn't it? Or at least it has been whenever I visited in the sim. Yeah, so when I spawned there, Nick, it was just pitch black and it was raining, so I was like, ooh. Maybe we'll just adjust the weather. Always feels like a bit of a cheat. So we'll do some, I tell you what, we'll do some landings at Gatwick in the 737. And then we'll switch to the Phoenix, shall we? Right, let's just double check we've got live weather on. Real-time live weather. Good times. So what I normally do, I'll just click and hold the menu button. I don't even know if I need to do this, but I'll do it anyway. PMDG setup, load state panel, runway. And then it basically puts the plane into a start position. Almost like it'd be if you just used one of the default aircrafts. EGKK, let's select that. Gatwick. Yep, we'll take that one. Runway 08 right. EGBB, is that Birmingham, Dale? EGNX, where's EGNX? I feel like I should know EGNX and I don't. Alright, let's move the aircraft. Let's set maximum landing weight. EGNX is Newcastle. Oh, Tim, are you just suggesting Newcastle? Or are you telling me that EGNX is Newcastle? I thought Newcastle was EGNT. Oh, East Midlands, of course. Okay. Oh yeah, because you go over Donington, don't you? Yeah, I remember now. I remember watching Metallica there in 2006 at the Download Festival, and all these DHL planes going over us.
Flight slow. Flight slow.
Alright, so allegedly the plane is ready, although I did select flaps 30, not 40.
Flight slow.
Okay.
Flight
So the
slow.
plane's a bit confused, I think. It thinks maybe we're so this is going to be a crosswind landing, isn't it?
Flight slow. Positive reincline. Flight slow.
Right, let's see if
Flight slow.
we can get ourselves back on target here.
Flight slow.
Kind of feels like we've been a little bit disjointed here. It's kind of blown us off course before we even got much of a chance to get started. So we've got a 15 knot crosswind. So it's going to be left rudder, right aileron, I think.
500.
Must admit, I always do get confused in these circumstances. I find it's just one too many things to be doing. Rudder pedals, aileron, throttles. Oh my goodness, we're going too fast. Too fast, too high. Alright, this one's going to be a mess. I'll say that right now.
400. 300.
Whoa.
200.
Thank goodness we've got time for take 2 in a moment.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Oh. In with a bounce. That was less than ideal. Plane crashed into the motorway. Flippin' heck. What, like a commercial jet? I'll tell you what, let's do a long final this time. Because I'm not convinced that the short final gave us enough time to sort that out properly, if I'm being honest. Tell you what we'll do, Nick. We will, once we land... 1989 British Midland 737. Blimey. Alright, we have control. So we'll get the plane to use approach mode to get us into a good starting place. Engine fire shut down the wrong engine. Oh no. That isn't good, is it? Alright, so we got our crab on. Try and maintain that crab on the centre line. It's one of those things where you know when you've got it, you know? It's like you know when you've got it absolutely bang on, you get that feeling, but it's trying to find it is the... trying to find that feeling. I find tricky, so now I've gone too far the other way, the wind has blown us. So I need to get back over here.
500.
Too high. Just a touch too high. Actually becoming quite a lot too high.
400. 300. 200.
Oh, below VREF.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Well, all things considered, that wasn't awful. That wasn't awful. We went a little bit slow there towards the end. Let's check out the landing report, shall we? Parking brakes on. So we're on the centre line. Landing distance wasn't bad. Touchdown 229. I would say the only issue there was that I slowed down. I slowed down quite a bit. Threshold indicated airspeed is 139. I was perhaps a little bit on the slow side. Crossed the threshold there at 52 feet, which is where you want to be as a rule. 50 feet is generally what they say, isn't it? As a bit of a rule. So yeah, I will take that. That was a nice little landing, that. Let's do a right hand base.
knots.
$2,500.
Okay. So we're currently at flaps 5, so we're gonna sort the rest out. Aircraft is ready. I have control. Let's go. Got the auto throttle on.
Positive rate of climb.
Yeah, we're not climbing, we're just trying to maintain level flight. Why do I keep getting that dot up here? It's really annoying. Boys, Dale, see you in a minute, mate. Oh man, I left this one too late, didn't I? I have royally messed this up. Yes, we have made a big mistake here. That's for sure. It'd be nice. I feel like it would be nice if there was a little bit more of like an actual flight plan. So the flight directors would be sort of telling us what to do there. Rather than just having to gauge it by eye, because it felt like that's kind of what they're expecting us to do. Okay, 160 until 4 DME, I think, is generally considered to be the rule. Let's do flaps 30. Gear down. This has all gone very wrong, I'm not going to lie to you.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Alright, alright, alright.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
Yeah, see the flight directors here are an absolute mile off, aren't they?
50, 30, 20, 10,
Oh, too hard. Damn it, I didn't hold the flare. Didn't hold the flare. Yes, a bit of a shame that. It would have been nice if we'd had an actual flight plan inputted into the FMC. So if we try it again, I'll show you what I mean.
knots.
$2,500.
Alright, aircraft is ready. Now let's see if we can go into the legs and do...
Positive rate of climb.
Right, there we go. So by setting more of a route... It's a shame FSiPanel couldn't do that itself. Okay, speed 160. Flaps 10. Let's get approach mode on. Okay, 147 is VREF. Let's get flaps all the way out. Lovely. Right. Alright, have control. Yeah, the flight directors seem much happier this time as well. Probably because I also have the route in the FMC. Okay, just a little bit below VREF by about 1 knot. Let's get our
1,000.
VREF plus 5 situation on the go. Okay, a little bit more over to the right, I think. Nick, you said you wanted to go Sydney next, right?
300.
Ah, too high. Way too high.
200.
Maybe not. Now we're off the centre line.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
That was smooth. Happy with that. That was looking a bit ropey prior to that nice little touchdown we had there. How you doing, Frug? Nice to see you again, mate. Right, we need to see the landing report for that. (199 feet per minute), not bad. Deviation from centre line. That's 11 feet off the centre line, which, yeah, we did come in quite high on that one. 54 feet at the runway threshold, which is okay. We did a bit of a nosedive at 150 feet. But if we ignore all of that and take the last 50 feet into context, then that's not bad. Right, let's do one more here. We'll do a short final. And then we will potentially change aircraft and head down to Sydney, I think.
80 knots.
How are you, Adam? Not sure what it's doing. We'll just give it a second. Alright, aircraft is ready.
1,000.
So annoyingly, it hasn't actually factored in the wind.
Glide slope.
Whoa, what's going on? Come on.
Glide slope.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It hasn't factored in the wind. So it kind of
Glide slope.
it started us at the wrong heading, essentially. Had us pointing at the runway like we were, like there was no wind, basically. That's not going to help. Right, it feels like we're a little bit more on centre now.
400. 300.
Ah, messed this up. Too high.
200.
Oh no, maybe I haven't.
100.
Yikes.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Yeah, not the greatest, that one. Says it on the ND, Frug, 130 and 12 at the moment. Right, it is time that we get down to Sydney. Was it YSSY, isn't it? Is that the right one? I think so, anyway. What's the wind doing? let's go from runway 34 left. We'll do a long final. Ah, night time. So weirdly it set the flaps to 40 even though we said 30.
2,500.
I'll tell you what, should we have some daytime? Let's have some clear skies to start with some cloud. Right, let's just move the aircraft again. Yeah, that's right, 8 o'clock. I figured we'd have a little bit of something to look at out the window. Aircraft is ready. Alrighty, let's go.
1,000.
Okay, we need to get over to the left, I can tell you that much. Yeah, we will do real conditions in a minute, Frug. Relax, we'll get there. We're just doing one to start with. Okay, too far over to the right currently. Too low.
300.
Oh, the picture looks good.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
That wasn't awful. Wasn't great either, I'll give you that. I think in a way the short finals are sometimes a little bit not the best idea. Because sometimes it doesn't quite start you in the right place. Or if it starts you a bit funny and you have to do a little wiggle, you don't have a lot of time to claw it back.
80 knots.
That's my only complaint.
$2,500.
Alright, we have control. Let's get approach mode on. Do flaps 30, VREF 146. Gives us a 151 with the +5. Alright. I have control. That nose down a little bit. Feels like we've drifted over to the right just a touch. See if we can correct that. So even though we've got 3 reds, this feels high to me.
300. 200.
Whoa.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Bevy! Welcome, welcome. No, you're not late, Bevy. We're just doing lots of landings today, so no drama. Right, let's do it again. This time, let's put on the live weather. Should we do it real time? And we'll do a long final. And tell FSiPanel to move the plane for us.
80 knots.
Zero visibility, that's always a good start. I feel like we're on the wrong runway, really, because we've got a bit of a tailwind. Aircraft is ready. Okay. Let's get some lights on in here. So we cannot see a thing. So I guess we'll just sit here until we can see something. So the plane's doing a very nice job of descending for us. There we go, we got a visual. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Just accidentally put an extra stage of flaps out by hitting a button on my yoke. I do not like night landings at all.
1,000.
I feel like I can't gauge where I am. Don't like it. Do not like. We go too low now, aren't we? Yeah. Come on.
200. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Not perfect, but that wasn't awful. Maybe a little bit on the hard side. Maybe a little bit on the hard side. Maybe we ought to try from the other end of the runway. Might not be the worst idea. So instead of 3-4, if we do 1-6, right. Let's try it that way. At least we got a visual this time, straight out of the gate. That doesn't surprise me, Bevy. Alright, ILS is on. My guess, Bevy, is that the target market is not big enough to justify the development time. If I had to guess. And that is basically all I do here. Alright, my plane. My plane, my throttles.
One thousand.
Okay, we're a bit high. But the pappies don't seem at all bothered at this stage. What we'll do after this one, guys, we'll switch to the Phoenix. So far this is looking quite tidy. Hopefully I don't ruin it. A little bit high.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Whoa, that was hard. Famous last words, eh? Right, let's see the landing report for that one. Satisfactory. Only 290 feet per minute. That felt harder. It really did feel harder. Yeah, basically we floated a bit on that one, and we were 70 feet on the threshold, which is why. So it all makes sense. Like, we just did the wrong thing. At least I remembered the gear. Well, Bevy, had I not remembered the gear, you know whose fault it would have been. Not mine. That's all I'll say. Alright, let's hit the main menu a minute. And switch into the Phoenix. Alrighty, so aircraft selection. Phoenix, liveries, not, even though it's got a picture of an EasyJet. Okay, so let's go back to Gatwick, shall we? Nuclear, not bad. We're just switching into the Phoenix. So it could be about to get a whole lot worse. For some reason my reverse thrust is bugged on the Airbus throttle. So you've been binding reversed. Oh, okay. Have you watched my video on it? Alright, let me just put my TCA yoke into Phoenix mode. ATR Phoenix. There we go. Should fly the ATR a bit more really, but there you go. Alright, so it's detected our A320. That's good. Let's go EGKK. Tell it where we are. Select the airport. We're going to do 08 right. And let's do a long final. Flaps full. Move the aircraft. Dung. Oh, I need to put my levers in the climb detent. So that's an important point with the Phoenix, is we need to get the levers in the climb gate. Then it will start.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Obviously we're going to get all sorts of warnings. I only did one stream with the ATR. Yeah. I've got to be honest, Bevy, I just like the jets, to be honest. A320, 737, 777, 747, A330, that kind of stuff. That's kind of where my interest lies. I think basically I got caught up in the hype of the ATR, and I got it at a cheap price, so it's kind of like wasn't too much of an outlay for it. I've definitely got my sights set on the 777 next.
2,500.
I don't know actually, Simon. I mean, we could obviously try it. Goodness knows how I'll get on landing the ATR. Something nice about the ATR is just it's a little bit slower than all your typical airliners. Alright, let's get approach mode on. So you've just got a nice little bit more time to make decisions and to correct things. Not that we ever need to make corrections on this channel, of course. Alright, so we're not going to use the yoke anymore. We are now on the joystick. Alright. My aircraft. Can't believe how much I've been struggling with the Phoenix lately. It's quite remarkable, really. I think there's a definite kind of narrative where it's like Airbus easy, Boeing hard. It's like no, not quite that simple. All right, so we've got a 20 knot wind going on at the moment. Should have another VATSIM video out on the channel soon. I did a flight last night. Against my better judgment, I flew from Amsterdam back to Gatwick, and it was so stressful. It really, really was. Can't
1,000.
overemphasize that enough. It really was a stressful flight. We had radar coverage, we had just coverage everywhere, like you couldn't escape. Just always something to do. which is great. But it does mean you need to keep on your toes.
$500.
Alright, we need to get over to the right a bit more. Okay, we're dipping. Once again, we're dipping. And then if you... No, we've gone too high. Same old story. About 500 feet, I feel like I'm dipping. And you overcorrect. And you end up going beneath the glide slope like we are now. God.
100.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
That wasn't too bad. Wasn't too bad. Let's do a short final this time. See if we can speed things up a little bit. It feels like at 500 feet you always end up dipping, and then I pull back, and then it's like, oh no, I'm too high, and then you come in too high, and it's like you almost do this little roller coaster thing.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Bevy, there will never be a paper plane stream. Sorry to have to tell you that. Sorry, Bevy. Hopefully you can find it in your heart to forgive me.
Glide
1,000.
slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Alright, we're
Glide
ready.
Slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
So yeah, it's done that thing again where it's kind of not accounted for the wind, and the wind has blown us way off of where we needed to be. Which is a little bit of a shame. Flight directors aren't quite on point either, are they?
500.
Definitely feel that wind.
100.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
40, 30, 20, retard. 5,
Still can't get it quite right. Maybe we should try it without auto throttle. Maybe that's half the problem. Because in the 737 I'm doing it all manually. Maybe the auto throttle and what I want the plane to do aren't quite in alignment with one another. Right, let's do a long final. Levers into climb.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
The thing is, on the Airbus, it's like you haven't got much of a range really to do your whole throttle movement, whereas on the 737 you've got the entire kind of throw of the throttles, whereas you've got this tiny little bit here in between the climb gate and idle. We'll give it a go. Morning, OKs, how you doing? Simon says you find it easier with the auto throttle off. Yeah, I'm wondering whether that's actually kind of what's causing me the trouble. But what, like I said, what gives me pause is that you've got a very short range of movement between the climb and idle.
2,500.
Don't know what you're talking about, Bevy. Alright. I have control. Well, barely, but I am in charge. Okay, let's let approach mode fix the approach for us and then we'll take over. Once again, Bevy, no idea what you're talking about. That didn't happen. Alright, let's try auto throttle off, shall we? Oh, I like your style, Bevy. Okay, so hopefully not doing the auto throttle will help us out here. Though I feel like it's very easy to go to
1,000.
yeah, that short range of movement I'm finding quite difficult.
500.
Come on, get over to the right. I think this has probably been more of a success than the auto throttle so far. He says going too high. And being left of the centre line.
Glide slope.
There it is, the old glide slope
Glide
warning.
slope. Glide
100.
slope. Glide slope.
40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5,
Ho ho ho, come on. Look at that. In the wind as well, I mean. God, I'm good. I jest, of course. Yeah, okay, so I think that actually helped a ton. That really did help a load. Quite tricky, because again, you've got that very short range of movement, so like a millimetre either way can really make quite a big difference. Let's do one more. Try that again. But yeah, I think that gets us over a couple of those issues we were having.
Terrain ahead. Pull up.
Weirdly, I don't know if you noticed that. Keep your ears open this time. At 100 feet, you're going to hear a sound like we've landed. So I think the plane thinks, or the sim or something thinks we're 100 feet off, which I think is why we get the glide slope, because we had 2 reds, 2 whites, we were okay. But it still wasn't very happy, was it? What do I use to stream?
2,500.
What specifically do you mean? As in software or hardware or aircraft is ready. Brakes. Software, I'm using OBS. You could also use, is it Slobs? Streamlabs OBS. Does FSiPanel set QNH automatically? Yeah, well I haven't set a thing, so yeah, I assume it's doing it all. Okay, let's try one more with the one more with the throttles on auto. It can't be 780 megs, Bevy, because it never happened, remember? And even if I did do a belly landing on stream, I did so ironically. Definitely wasn't a mistake. Alright. It's a funny one to get used to, the auto doing the throttle yourself on the Airbus. It really is. And we are way too high.
One thousand.
Ah, I've gone too fast. God, it's really, really easy to go too fast. You think you haven't even moved your hand, and you have. Okay, this landing is not going to be so good. If I was on stream now doing this properly, I think I'd be considering going around.
Flight slope. Flight
100.
slope.
There you go. Hear that sound?
50,
Ah,
40, 30, 20, retard. 5,
oh. Why do we stop so suddenly? What was that all about? Well, the landing was nice, but that was weird. What was that all about? Yeah, the touchdown was really nice, but it's like the plane just went completely stopped. Strange how we get the glide slope warnings, but I do wonder if that's like an FSiPanel thing. Yeah, I don't know how we stopped so quick. That almost seems like a... It's like a bug or something.
Terrain
'Cause
ahead.
that's not normal.
Pull
Like,
up.
I think we can all agree that's not normal. Yeah, that was bizarre, wasn't it, that, Simon? I don't know what to say. The touchdown was brilliant. I was really happy with that, but yeah, that was weird. Let's see if it happens again this time, I guess. I think I engaged the reversers too soon.
1,000.
Flight slope. Flight slope. Flight slope. Flight slope. Flight slope. Flight slope.
Alright, aircraft is ready. Approach
Flight
mode,
slope.
please and thank you.
Flight slope.
I don't know, I feel like the nose wheel hit down quite hard because I engaged reversers while we were basically in a flare. So I don't know is the honest answer whether that did affect us or not.
$500.
Wow, that wind's quite strong, isn't it? Come on, over you get. We don't have long. Right, listen out at 100 feet. Because at 100 feet, I think the glide slope indicator is going to go all wonky. Too high. Damn it. Yeah, so listen out. Yeah, so we're far too high for this landing, so we'll do another one. There, hear that? It's like we landed.
40, 30, 20, retard, 5,
It's done it again, look. Very weird. Cheers, Bevy. Alright, let's do a long. Okay, we'll do one more here. Then we'll get over to JFK, do a few
Terrain
landings over
ahead.
there,
Pull up.
and I'll probably have to call it a day on the stream. Yeah, it's very strange, isn't it, that?
$2,500.
Alright, hold on the brakes, 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. I have control. Okay, let's do auto brake low. Okay. Okay, my throttles, my plane.
$1,000.
A little bit too fast. Yeah, it's very tricky getting this throttle right, but I feel like if you can get it right, the reward is there. If that makes sense. But you just got such a short throw of movement.
500.
Okay, listen out. About 100 feet.
Glide slope.
There it is, see?
Glide slope.
40, 30, 20, retard. 5,
Yeah, we were a bit early then. I'll give it that. Okay, so this seems more like a realistic stopping distance. Okie dokie. Let's head on over to JFK. JFK. It's got to be 3-1 left, right? It's always 3-1 left. Let's do a long final. Yeah, a little bit early on that touchdown. The sun's coming up. Now, weirdly, I think the runway's a bit off at JFK. Because I've had one before where I know for a fact that I was on the centre line and it says I was like 20 feet out. And look here, it just feels like we're a bit off. Alright, aircraft is ready. Okay, localizer is established. I know, Simon. Unbelievable, eh? Surely not. Now I find this runway a little bit confusing because you've got a really long section of tarmac before the actual touchdown area, and I always go for the tarmac that I see first. Wow, it really is such a short range of movement, isn't it?
1,000.
So we've got a 13 knot wind hitting us directly from the right hand side.
Five hundred.
You're a bit low. See, it feels like we're too high in a weird way, but I don't think we are.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
Yeah, we're too low.
40,
Too low.
30.
Terrain.
20, retard. 5,
Yeah, rubbish. Rubbish, rubbish, rubbish. Not helped by the fact we're in the dark, of course. I'll tell you what, I want to do some 737 flying into here. I'm good for about another 25 minutes. So let's jump back to the main menu. Do a bit of 737 brushing up. I feel like the manual throttle has helped, so I do appreciate your input there, Simon. That helped a lot. Okay, world map. Let's start us in JFK this time as well. Oh, that'll be Storm Agnes coming in. Oh, should we do a landing in Northern Ireland? Because apparently that's going to get hit quite bad today, isn't it? Let's try one in Northern Ireland. Let's set the plane first. I just want to see if I could even get close to doing it. Let's do that one. Seems a shame to not take advantage of the storm, I suppose. Oh, look out. Alright. What is this? This is EGAA, isn't it? Aldergrove, yeah. Select airport. Ooh, I've forgotten what runway we're on. I want to say 25? Oh, wait. Yeah, you need to align IRS. So, click and hold menu button. PMDG setup. Easiest way to do this. Load state. And then set it to runway state. There we go. Right, let's try that again. Hopefully that'll work. Oh, look at that wind. Huh. Oh, damn it, I know what I need to do. This may interfere with... Oops. What FSiPanel's trying to do, and I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see if we can even begin. Whoa. Look at that crab. Alright, don't get your hopes up for this one, will you? This is purely for the purely for a giggle. And I guess aeroplanes flying today, right? Wow. No visual yet. Oh, wait, is that it over there? That's a crazy crab. Oh, right, here we go then. I barely have control. Okay, we are too low.
500.
My goodness. This is so hard to control. And now we've lost visual. Oh no, we haven't. Yes, we have. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. Who knows?
400. 300. 200. 100.
Ah,
Sync rate.
50. 30. 20. 10.
oh, floater. There it is. Oh, we've got to try that again. Although, we should try it from the opposite runway. So 2.5, we should do... what's the opposite of 2.5? Maybe 0.7, right? Yeah. Let's do 0.7, because then we'll have the wind in our favour. What do we think? Flaps 40 because it's windy? Wow. So why don't we have any markers? Are we too far? Surely not. Where's our ILS markers gone? Well, that's weird. Any ideas? Because we're just going to fly right over at this rate. Try again. So what's it got? 109.90. Runway 07. Does it maybe not have ILS? That could be it, of course. Maybe that's what it is. Let's see if we can do it by hand, shall we? No ILS on 07, that'll be why then. Okay, let's go back to 25. I don't think I've ever actually flown an RNAV approach in the 737 or the A320, come to that. It's always been ILS for me. Alright, here we go. Good morning, Ashi, or good evening, whatever your time zone is. Alright, so still lacking a visual. Is that it? No, it's not. It's a building. Boy, we're doing a serious crab, aren't we? Yeah, okay, he's got the new phone. Got it yesterday.
1,000.
There it is, there's the lights. Whoa, this is some serious weather. Oh, wow, we just get blown everywhere. Keep that nose down.
500.
This is madness.
400.
Absolute madness. Nose down, come on, we're going to drift otherwise.
300.
Whoa, nose down. Come on.
200. 100. 50. 30. 20.
Oh no, I overflared. Why did I do that?
10.
Why did I do that? That was almost perfect. Right, one more. One more. I got the 15. Yeah, the 15 plus. Didn't go pro. Didn't really. I don't know. I've got a few friends that like the pro, but I don't know. I couldn't quite see the value this time. It feels like the base level phones have gotten really quite good. Of course, if you're like mad into phones and you love them and that's like, you know, that's your thing, sure, get the 15 Pro, brilliant phone. But for me, not being quite so into phones, the difference I would have had to have paid to get a Pro Max instead of a Plus, I could put a new CPU in my computer with that money. That's kind of how I was looking at it. The only thing that tempts me to go for a Pro phone is the 120Hz display, like the ProMotion thing, but I don't know, man, like I can't spend an extra 300 quid just for that. So, yeah, it's a tricky one. I'm sure in the next year or two they'll give it to the base models, because they need to maintain that separation between the Pro and the non-Pro. And at the moment I think the 120Hz screen is quite a big separating feature. But once they start adding more stuff to the Pros that they can talk about, then maybe they can start to think about giving the non-Pros that screen. But I can see why they don't, because if they did do that, I would never buy a Pro phone ever again. Whereas at the moment, I'm still vaguely tempted occasionally. Why are we not descending? Too busy talking about iPhones, I forgot we had to descend. It seemed to put us in an altitude hold. So I'm a little bit unsure why it did that. Ah, here we go, look. Right, let's see if we can rescue this, shall we?
Sync rate. Sync rate.
There we go. Rescued like a pro. Okay, we're below VREF. It's not an ideal place to be.
100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Whoa! Yeah, that was not good. Alright, let's see if we can do that properly this time. This is Belfast. I'm probably going to have to make this the last one, guys, just so you know. Okay, we're ready. It's doing it again, look. Fine, I'll do it myself. if I must. Perhaps it's struggling in the wind. What is going on here? What was that all about? Did the weather just reload on us or something? Why does it keep doing that? Is FSiPanel reloading us? I think it is. Right, let's try that again, because that's been weird.
Glide slope. Glide slope.
Try and Nick, it's it's a challenge in this weather.
Slope.
I'll say that much.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
Yes, 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 I know, glide slope. I'm trying my bestest. Be quiet. Doesn't help that you can't see a damn thing out the window. My word. How any pilot can land in these conditions is just incredible to me.
200. 100.
Sync rate.
50. 30. 20. 10.
Come on, down you go. Yes! Whoa, where are we going? Where are we going? That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. I mean, maximum respect to real pilots that have to do this. That was so difficult. Wow, wow, wow. Well, I think, folks, that is a very good place to leave it. What a... I just felt like no matter how much rudder input I gave it there, it just would not stay on the centre line. It's quite incredible. Very tricky conditions. Anyway, folks, it's that time. I've got to go. I'm afraid. Things to do. It's made a change to do this on the stream. I've got to be honest, the numbers don't really suggest that people liked it as much as the usual format. So something to keep in mind, I suppose, but it's nice to have a change every now and then. And I kind of feel like I needed this morning, really, to get the practice in. So I appreciate you all coming along, I really do. Not entirely sure when I'll be back, on the stream at least. But hopefully there'll be a VATSIM video coming out at this week some point. Because I did a flight last night and recorded it. So, yeah, I'll be able to share my second VATSIM adventure with you all. Spoiler alert, mistakes were made. Mistakes were made. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you all so very much indeed. And I'll see you